me thank the teeming crowd that have turned out today. Now we decided to come to the rural community of Ona for this Thanksgiving service because of one thing. I've received so many text messages, and some people said, oh, because the former secretary to government left office and I went and brought somebody who is not an Ibibio. And they kept sending text messages that, oh, that exit was a fight against Ibibios. So one day I called Udom. I said, where are you from? And he said, sir, I'm from Ona. I said, it's Ona Ibibio. And Udom said, yes, sir. It's even the heart of Ibibio. Even here, I had to call the professor, the vice chancellor of Akwa State University. I called him there. He's in the crowd there. I said, Prof, come, tell me, is this place Ibibio? And he said, sir, I'm from Etinan. Etinan is a man. Akwa used to be part of Etinan before. It was created as Ona. And so they used to call it Akwa Iman. That this is the heart of Ibibio. So Udom himself is even an Ibibio son. So if an Ibibio son left office as secretary to government, and another Ibibio son took over that office, as the governor committed pogrom against Ibibio, before people start accusing me, in his second term he has started ethnic cleansing. He is removing an Ibibio man as secretary to government. Udom is from Ibibio. I didn't say so, the professor said so. He has done enough research. He's the vice chancellor of the Akwa State University that said it though. And he's from Etinan. And so he must know what he's talking about as a professor. I did not say so. What can we learn from today's event? We must look at today's event. Start from the clement weather. This should have been very hot, but God gave you an air-conditioned weather. And what is God telling you? That he has accepted the Thanksgiving. That he has accepted the Thanksgiving. And then God says that when you accept, when you show gratefulness, he will do more for you. So my prayer is that may God do more for this family. This is what I would like all Akwa Ibom children to emulate. You have to imbibe the spirit of always coming back to thank God. And somebody referred to the 9,999 choral example. We do that every year in Akwa Ibom as a way of telling God, thank you. And I gave you that story, which some of you missed on that night. And what was that story about? I told you the story of that small boy, a small 5-year-old child, who loved piano so much that the father bought him a piano set. And then the boy learned only one tune. And that tune was the one they call a chopstick. Each time the boy played, he played only the chopstick. And he mastered it. So when the father took him to a classical music carnival, the boy was sitting with the father. Before the curtains could open for the master pianist to come on stage, the boy from under sighted a piano. He left the father and sneaked in there, and then went and sat on top and started his only tune that he knew. When the curtains opened, and the master pianist, celebrated pianists all over the world came in, there was a thunderous ovation, but the boy did not hear. He was engrossed in his one tune, the only tune he knew. Finally, he tapped the boy on the shoulder, and the boy was startled and turned around. He wanted to apologize, and the man said, no, my son, continue. My son, continue. My son, continue. So the boy went back and continued with his one stick. And then the chopstick has something to do with Beethoven music, the classical one. And so the master pianist now added some tunes and called on other people to join. And before you knew it, a fantastic classical music of Beethoven was rendered to the admiration of the entire crowd. And the boy was part of that success story. The father, who was sitting somewhere, could not believe that his son had become a star overnight. And the father started weeping with joy. What was the message about for Akwa Ibom children? That when I came in as a governor in 2007, and I came like this to give honor to God, to thank God, and the little I knew about governance, because as a young neophyte, I did not know much about governance. I started trying to do the small tag road, but I felt, let me bring in companies that can work and bring about sustainable development, so that we don't continue to use wheelbarrow contractors. And 6 months later, the roads are gone. Now I have no road to go to from General Akpan's place. Thank God he's here. All the way to Akwa, that road has gone. Because if we use wheelbarrow contractors, that is the experience we'll have. Every year, we'll keep going there to do road, and we'll be clapping for ourselves, thinking that we are doing something. So the one thing I knew, which was to work with 5 first-class and 5-star construction companies, God tapped me on the shoulder when I called on him in Thanksgiving and said, God's will continue. God's will continue. I am with you. I am with you. And the result, 6.5 years later, is what the world has come to know as uncommon transformation. Uncommon transformation. That can only come about when the master is with you and is tapping his hands on your shoulder and saying, my son, continue. So Udom Emmanuel. Udom Emmanuel. Udom Emmanuel. Because the Lord is with you. Because of the last crowd that have turned up today, I've taken permission from the men of God to ask a question. We had no disagreement when we had the last Thanksgiving service in Ibom. Myself and Khan were speaking the same language. And all we were telling you was that even the houses have numerous small tribes under them. But we always refer to them as what? As houses. So if Akwa Ibom has the largest tribe as Ibibio, it means that one can look at Akwa Ibom as one united Ibibio tribe. But fortunately, the Nigerian Constitution has divided us into 3 senatorial districts. And therefore, we have Ibibios in the 3 senatorial districts. And my question has always been that the Ibibio of Uyo senatorial district, under Bon Victor Ta, has done 8 years for Akwa Ibom people. Am I right? Yes. The Ibibio of Ikon senatorial district, Governor Akpabio, by God's grace will complete 8 years in 2015. Am I right? Yes. Now, I said, why can't we look at the Ibibios of Ikon senatorial district? Starting from Oron all the way to Eastern Obolo. So I'll ask you a question today. Since you are standing in the presence of God, and the politicians who make things happen are here, and those who come to confuse you are also here. Because I will tell you the truth. When you see me strong every day, it does not mean I have no political enemies. It's just that I believe in the Bible. And God says, rule down in the midst of your enemies. Rule down in the midst of your enemies. Be strong-hearted and courageous, and rule in the midst of your enemies. God did not say you should rule in the midst of your friends. Otherwise, that would not be rulership. So can I ask a question? So in 2015, should I support Uyo Senatorial District? Okay, since I've done well, in 2015, should I keep the power in Ikon Senatorial District? Okay, so in 2015, should we come to Ikon Senatorial District? If I were a politician, and I was on this ground today, and I had ambition, and I've heard the people of Akwa Ibom say they are going to a senatorial district, I would have known that you cannot rig election where you are not popular. There will be no rigging in 2015. The people's vote will count. And so my prayer for you is that where we are standing, starting from Ikon Obase, all the way down to Oron, we should find able young men and women, one of whom can take over from me as governor of Akwa Ibom. Is that your prayer?